started trading in cow legs. I could go and order for cow legs from their abattoir. They allowed me to be in the abattoir the whole night till the next morning to collect my cow legs. I'll smoke them, carry them in sacks, and then bring them to Ghana for sale. It helped me a lot.
At the time, had you stopped teaching?
I was teaching.
Okay,
I was doing this during the holidays.
Okay.
Lexfilms GH.
Lexfilms TV. What does it? Lexfilms TV. Lexfilms TV. What does it?
Lexfilms TV. Just go to my YouTube, then subscribe, then have fun.
Lexfilms TV. Entertainment and more.
Welcome, guys. Welcome to Lexfilms TV. Lexfilms TV is sponsored by Pomasa Plumbing and Building Works. Your sanitary fittings that have been there for some time, you need to change it. You know, sanitary fittings by their nature are meant to be changed from time to time. That's why Pomasa is there for you. They are telling you that whatever you are buying, they'll deliver to you for free. You get it? Lexfilms TV is one of the fastest growing community channels on YouTube. You can check the numbers for yourself. That's why we urge you to subscribe, so that when we post anything, you are the first to see it. Now, we are here to inform, to entertain, and to educate you. Underline educate. We are doing education today. I mean, our guest is one experienced educationist, from being a teacher to a principal to owning his school. Yes, Mayflower Beacon School Complex. My guest is Mr. Jacob Owusu. Now, before we zoom into action, let's take the Pomasi commercial. Let's go.
Iba, 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 Pomasi, iba, 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 iba. If you want to build, don't lose up, my brother. Ube sit down, no say whoop than papa. If you want to build, don't lose up, my sister. Ube sit down, no say whoop than papa. If you want quality plumbing materials, if you want quality water closets, you can even pay in installments. And we also give you free delivery. Wow!
Okay, welcome, guys. Like I told you, a very honorable man. Daddy, thank you very much for, first of all, accepting to speak to us. We are sorry for wasting your time. You know, you are a very busy man. I mean, we know how we had to chase you out for about 2 weeks. How did it start for you?
Yeah, for my life has been checkered. It hasn't been smooth for me. I started as a typical village boy. I'm not sure it should be a village boy, a cottage boy, till I got to the middle school, standard 7. We call it Form 4 or standard 7. I came out in 1967, that is July 1967, after we had written the MSLC, Middle School Living Certificate Examination. We wrote it in Nkoko, that is the Kwahu Secondary School. Yeah, 2 months after I had completed, I had a letter from the Ghana Education Service that I should go and see the Catholic Educational Unit in Nkoko to be posted to any school of my choice to become a teacher. Hitherto, I had written an entrance examination to go to a teacher training college. I think because that didn't work out, they gave me that opportunity to teach and prepare myself towards that. So I went to Suminakesi, a village near Nkoko, one of the Aduamwa villages. That's where I started my teaching. Before then, I had done rudiments of teaching at home with my head teacher's child. I was staying with a Catholic primary school head teacher. Then after I had read my notes and everything, I had to teach the child. That was what I did before I became a pupil teacher. So I took...
And all this was before you became a teacher?
Before I became a teacher. Okay. So when I started teaching, I was so short that I couldn't even get to the top of the chalkboard. They had to put a bench under the chalkboard on which I stood. So they were calling me Teacher Pirwa, Teacher Ketwa, and the like. So my head teacher, one Mr. J. Ajavon of blessed memory, he's gone. He won them and flogged them. You look at how big you are. Look at this small boy. He's completed and he's teaching. You are calling him Teacher Pirwa and so on and so forth. The man saw what was in me and then advised that I should go to a people teachers training school. So he took me to a TVA for 6 weeks. After that, I came back to the school to teach.
Kwahu
TBA. From Sumina Akesi to TBA, know how chilly the weather there was, and it's still chilly.
Now.
I was there, yeah. I was there for 6 weeks. And then when I got back to Sumina Akesi, I felt, why should I waste my time here? Mind you, when I was in Sumina Akesi, as young as 16, my sister was staying with me. I took my sister to the town and enrolled her in the primary school.
At 16 years?
At 16 years, my sister was staying with me.
How old was your sister then?
My sister was a basic one, a primary one people.
Okay. She was way younger than you.
Yeah, way younger than her. So I took care of her till she was about to get to basic 4. Then I had an admission to go to teacher training college. I was given Amfuega. According to friends, we were given Mount Mary College, but because Amfuega was a new school and they needed people to start, they picked us from various teacher training colleges to fill the Amfuega teacher training college. So the accounts there weren't many. We were more treated anyway. I'm not saying that they were wicked. They told us we should speak English throughout. And
Amfuega is in the Volta region?
Amfuega in the Volta region, near Pando.
Okay.
Amfuega Akukome. Amfuega Akukome. It's now Amfuega Secondary School.
Okay.
Yeah. They told us we should speak English throughout. But they will speak their language because they are on their land. See, so we felt that they were punishing us. They could punish us to go and cut bamboo from Harvard, bring it. They would take the diameter and tell you it's not up to the diameter. Throw it, cut it into pieces, and you go again. You know accounts and... Yeah. So I decided to leave. I wrote for transfer, something which was unusual in those days. But I got a training college. That was Kibi Men's. That's where I moved to and then completed the training college over there.
Aside the treatment, was there any other reason why you wanted to move, or it was just the treatment?
I should have remained there because it was better, or it's still better to learn languages.
Okay.
They started teaching us Ewe. We bought the Ewe books. If I had been there, I would have been very fluent in Ewe. But I left. I want to say that the accounts are sometimes not submissive. Yeah. So we left the area for them. But the college was a very good one. Okay. So when I came to Kibi, I didn't find myself wanting. There too, I proved my worth. And right from 2, I became the college chapel keeper. Chapel keeper, in charge of the college chapel. I organized preaching plans, went for principals from various colleges. The school bus would take me there to invite them to come and preach in our school. So I became...
How many years should this be?
That was 16 plus 2, 17, 19. I came out from college at the age 23. Okay. So 19.
Okay, please go ahead.
Yes. So I came out from college, and then on the compound I had my appointment letter. Not only me, all those who completed had their appointment letters. So I was sent to a village beyond Kwahu Nteso. The village is Abisu number 1. At the age of 23, my brother, he's in this town, he's a tailor, Newman, had to go with me. Then my sister I was staying with when I was a people teacher also had to go with me. So at the age of that 23 or whatever, I had 2 people to depend upon me.
You were taking care of?
Taking care of them from my salary. The new man is in Pokwase right now, and then my sister is in Koko. She's not well. She's bedridden. I took care of them till I married. When I married, I had to send my sister to a secondary school. She went to a secondary school, and then Kwabena Asante, the new man, had to continue to stay with me till he also completed middle school. Okay. In Ghana, we felt that life was unbearable. That's what we felt in the 80s. That was when people were going to Agege and the like. I said, why shouldn't I go? I took my bag, and then I didn't even resign from the teaching field here. I went to Nigeria. But then I had risen to the rank of assistant superintendent, a rank which somebody will use about 12 years to attain. I used only about 7 years to have it. Instead of staying so that I'll consolidate my position and then rise in the Ghana Education Service, I left for Nigeria. Well, I didn't regret anyway. I got there for about 1 year, then I came for my wife because I had
When you were leaving for Nigeria, did you live with any government backing or with your
nothing.
own evolution?
Even I didn't resign from Ghana, which means I stopped unceremoniously. I just stopped and went away.
That would make you lose all your emoluments if you
I
had any.
lost everything. When I don't want to jump into that. I lost everything. Yeah. So I got to Nigeria, worked to the satisfaction of the people there. They called me, gave me names, then Ghana, Meso Nike, to be Opejuma. The allergies were giving me bags of rice. We could eat rice, the grain, and sometimes meal. That's where I started eating rice, kuku. The rice. I could get the rice in abundance.
Rice kuku, that's rice water.
Rice? No, that's not the rice water. The milled rice.
Okay.
Into powder.
The rice has been milled into powdered form
powder.
and prepared like porridge.
Yes.
Okay.
You eat the actual rice and then you have the kuku. Then the rice too, with my wife. So over there, I had been blessed with only one child before I got there. That was Frank Obin. Frank Obin really enjoyed it because when we were in Ghana, he was the only child I had. So he went anywhere I went with me. So he had the opportunity to learn so many things. Then I took him away. When I took him away too, he was blessed, the only child there. And I think maybe the care I gave to others' children, God compensated me for that. Luckily for me, 9 years after I had given birth to Frank Obin, I had Rebecca in Nigeria. So Rebecca is called Dankuta. The town is Kuta.
Okay.
So she's called Dankuta. In fact, Rebecca is a Nigerian because she was born there.
What is the meaning of
Dankuta is Kuta Ni, Nkoko Ni.
Okay.
Dankuta. Kuta is the town where we were. We were there for years, about 4 or 5 years.
But hold on, sir. 9 years before you had your second child.
Yes.
Any reason, or you just wanted to wait?
Oh no, I didn't want to. I wanted more. I wanted to have 6 children. That was my plan because I thought that if your children are in your house, then such a number is in the house. You are respected, provided you can take care. And then I was ready to take care of them. I could farm, trade. My wife was trading. I was farming. My wife later became a teacher. And so there was nothing like financial difficulty, nothing like that. And when I took my wife there, and we had the second one, that is Rebecca. I think 3 years later, my mother passed away. My father passed away, and then a year after that, my mother also passed away. So I had to make my wife come home and help. You know the account system of marriage and the like. So she stopped working in Nigeria and came home. She was making it. She was sewing dresses. She was a very good dressmaker there. Even my boss's wives were learning. They were apprentices to her.
So if she was making it, why did she have to come to Ghana?
She agreed because she felt she had to come and take care of my siblings my mother had left behind. She came and took to trading, tomato trading and the like. And then from Nigeria, after I had taught in teacher training colleges, primary schools, and so on and so forth, I said, no, if I'm losing my bearing, I'm not going to get any benefit after 60 years. Why do I stay at one place? So let me go up and then try to move to Libya and then use the desert for Europe and the like. So I got to Niger, Niamey, the capital of Niger, Niamey. That's where I stayed for 5 years to teach as well. I taught in a government secondary school, but we saw that the money wasn't flowing there. Rather, private school teaching could fetch. So I taught in 2 private schools, did my part. I made it. Started trading in cow legs. I could go and order for cow legs from their abattoir. They allowed me to be in the abattoir the whole night till the next morning to collect my cow legs. I'll smoke them, carry them in sacks, and then bring them to Ghana for sale. It helped me a lot.
At the time, had you stopped teaching?
I was teaching.
Okay, you were
I was doing this during the holidays.
Okay.
I prepared them, packed them, and then 10 sacks will give me about 1,000 pieces. Every sack took about 100 pieces. I brought them to Accra, distributed, and then started making my money.
Did you go back after you had distributed them?
Yes, I distribute, take part of the money, go back, and then wait for the rest. The next consignment, I will take the money. So that was what I was doing. And still I felt, what am I doing? I should go to Europe. So I decided to go to Algeria. After teaching in Nigeria, I taught in Niger and went to Algeria. Whilst waiting to have the opportunity of going to Europe, I started teaching them. There I gathered them in groups and started teaching them. But they were hostile. So we had to leave. I came back to Niger and then down to Ghana.
Sorry, sir. You know, like I told you, a lot of people celebrate you, just as we do. That's why we want to get the story well. In Algeria, what language were you teaching, or what course were you teaching?
I was teaching English. Wherever I went, I taught English. Okay. Niger, English. Algeria, English. But they were hostile, Charlie. They were hostile. They could come to you if you have a pair of trousers, jeans trousers. They will hold it and tell you that they need it, you give it to them. And friend, if you don't go somewhere, the next day you pass by that street, they will strip you naked and take the jeans. Jeans was precious to them. The town is Tamarasset, the first town after the border, Tamarasset. That's where I lived for about 6 months. And then came, packed bag and baggage for Ghana. The little that I made, I came and took to trading. My wife had established a big shop. I had to help her in buying items and stocking the place. But I also decided going to Togo, Lome, Nigeria, to buy shirts and other things for my wife to go selling. That's what I did. And then I felt no. But then Kofi Komwa had also come. That is my third child. He had come after Rebecca. Not quite 1 year after Rebecca, I had Kofi Komwa.
This should be about how many years ago?
This Kofi Komwa, 85.
85, about 35 years or 36 years ago.
Kofi Komwa, not 85. Kofi Komwa is about 33, 32. Okay. Mm-hmm. So what I did was now, why shouldn't I go back to the government sector again? I went, and what they were taking me through, it meant I had to go and start from where I ended, and that my promotion will delay. And I said I wouldn't teach in the government school. I packed my certificates from Nkoko and came back to Accra. I started from Tema, Accra, and then I was given 2 schools. I got to Green Hill, I was given a school. So I decided to remain in Green Hill, Achimota. That is the beginning of my life in Accra. Started from Green Hill, Achimota.
Achimota, is it the famous Achimota school?
The famous Achimota, not the famous Achimota school, but Green Hill International School in Achimota.
Okay, Green Hill International School in Achimota. Okay. Is it the famous Green Hill?
Famous Green Hill.
Okay.
1972.
Okay. Wow.
1972. There too, I shone. I worked. That's where I brought Shadrach Kofi Komwa there, and he did the preschool, that is nursery classes. He used 1 year to polish up before he was sent to basic 1, because the education in Koko wasn't that strong. So he used 1 year to go through all the classes. Then he got to basic 1. And then Rebecca too started from New Life School somewhere there in Achimota, Akwetema. That's where I had my fourth child, my fourth and last. I didn't decide to end on the 4th child, but my wife was having problems in giving birth to children, so we decided that we should curtail that. So I had a 4th one, and since then my children are 4. I haven't had the 5th one. I worked in Green Hill and head of the Youngsters International School. I said, why shouldn't I try? I hear it's a good school. I went there for the interview. The interview didn't end. I was given a class. So I started teaching in the Youngsters School. I went to Shadrach, and the owner of the school said, in this school, no teacher is given scholarship in the first year. But I'm going to give you money to go and withdraw this money to pay your fees. I'm giving you scholarship for the first year.
Wow.
I worked very hard there. Went to the youngsters, as I'm saying, worked very hard. And when I decided to leave the youngsters, he called me Mr. The Youngster, a.k.a. The Youngster. He has 4 compounds of the school now in Accra. He's still alive.
The famous The Youngsters?
Famous The Youngster. I taught there. Owusu taught there. And I was in the good books of Mr. Dionster and his daughter, my headmistress, Wendy Dionster.
Is he still alive?
That is Kotobabi. The school is the Kotobabi one near the Kotobabi police station.
That's right, but Mr.
Dionster
is
still alive.
He's still alive.
He's not very strong. He's still alive.
He should be proud of you now.
Very, very proud of me. Any time he hears of me, hallelujah. Because when I was leaving, they sobbed, they shed tears. When they were reading my citation at the general meeting, they shed tears. But there was no way I could go back. By then, I had been promised by one Alhaji that I was going to establish a school for me to run for him. So when I left the youngsters of all schools, I left.
I'm sure at the time, even though the youngsters was popular, no, the deal, the one that wanted you to leave, the deal was juicier.
Yes, if I was going to handle his school, which could become schools.
Okay.
Why wouldn't I go? Mr. Youngster pleaded that I should remain. Before I got to that school to start, I went to Golden Age to wait. Golden Age is just a stone throw from Jolu. Okay. So after school in the Golden Age school, I will cross the road and come to supervise the workers who were working on the school building I was going to run.
Oh.
You see, from the Golden Age school, I'll walk down to Jolu.
So the school that you were promised had not even been completed?
It hadn't been completed. It was under construction. The Jolly compound.
But okay, I get you. What if, let's say, at the time of completion, and the owner decides to put another person?
Two of his children, the owner, I taught two of his children in Beyonce's school.
Okay.
I was teaching them in the school, and I taught them in the house. Okay. He went to Mecca on 2 occasions, and I had to be in the house every day till he returned from Mecca. There was no way he was going to throw me overboard. Okay. He saw what was in me. Okay. Lo and behold, I left the Golden Age school. For about 2 terms, I hadn't taken my salary. Because I left unceremoniously, I didn't want to go for my salary. One day when I visited the school, the woman, Shang Simpson, she's gone. She's passed on. Okay. When she saw me, she said, "Owusu, Yadom." He was calling me Yadom by then. Yadom, he said, "Yadom, you are here. Your salary is in the envelope there. Even the eggs we gave you, you were not here to pick your eggs. I've used them. This money to go and buy your own crate." She thought I had come back. "Have you come back?" I told her, "No, I'm going to run somebody's school for."
But her name
is Shang Simpson Fanti.
Okay, she's a Ghanaian.
A Ghanaian Fanti.
Okay.
Shang Simpson. Yes. Okay. Shang.
She was the owner of the Golden Age
school.
Okay.
Yeah, a very good school for that.
How long did you teach in that school?
There, one year. I was waiting to go to the new school. The school I named. I gave the motto.
The school that had been virtually built for you.
I named the school. I gave the motto, everything about the school. I did everything.
Which school is that?
The school is the Pride of the East International School. I gave the name Pride of the East. You know.
Is the school still in existence?
It's still there. The school has 4 compounds.
Wow.
They are in Jolu, Mamobi, Nima, Kotubebi. I ran all the 4 compounds before leaving the school. Wow. I started from Jolu, went to Kotubebi, started the Nima one before we started the Mamobi compound. And I ran all the schools single-handedly. I was moving from school to school. In fact, our school, if anybody knows of Girardo School, our school, Pride of the East, made Girardo School no school.
Not relevant, you mean?
Yes. Then another school there called Bena. Bena was always praying that I would leave. Bena, Girardo, they all suffered from my hands. When I went to Jolu for the Jolu branch, King of Kings suffered because I was there. You see, wherever I went to, all the schools around me had problems with me because I was running the schools very well, and we were having the students. The results were good. Remember, one of them made 7, that is 7 ones in those days. And a host of them, the worst grade was up to 13. My own child, one of my children had 7 ones, and Rebecca had 09. I wasn't expecting that, but she made it because we were really teaching them well. We had time for them. Those days, I was strong. I could supervise them. I could control all the 4 schools. All the 4 schools had 68 teachers under my care. And so one person was controlling all the schools. If you are talking about PTA meetings, this Sunday it will be Nema, the next Sunday Mamobi, the next one Jolu, and then Kotubebi, and I was the sole speaker. Wow. The parents will come and tell me, we always want to hear you talk. When you talk, when you speak to us, we like it. Over there, every year I could change school fees. Anytime I felt like changing school fees, I changed, and they understood. Unlike certain places in Ghana now, you can't change school fees. So when I got there too, I saw the opportunity. I saw that there were opportunities. So why shouldn't I make my wife enjoy? So my wife also came to work in the school, and she took care of the kitchens, about 2 of the kitchens. She also made it. I made it. Actually, I was well paid. I put money by. We bought a parcel of land and built before we left that school. We built our house. We built the ground floor, did everything. The fittings were done by the doctor, my son. Until after I had been there for 8 years, the relationship became mad. After I had done all that. After he had the 4 legs, he had schools. After he was okay, he decided that there should be heads for the schools. I don't know who advised him. And then he felt I was taking much, and therefore he made me unhappy. So I felt I shouldn't remain. So my wife and Rebecca started living. By then Rebecca had completed the senior secondary school and was preparing to go to the university. She decided to drop for Shadrach to continue. So she came here with my wife to start this school.
At the time, hold on, sir. We'll move into Mayflower Beacon School. We'll move there. At the time that you were leaving, what was the best grade at Pride of the East School?
That one can I remember?
No, the best. I mean, the best that you had achieved.
7. That is 7 ones.
7 ones.
And
was it out of 10 or 12
students?
No, I mean the grade. Was it 10 or 12?
By then, 10. 12, they were doing 12. It came to 10.
Okay.
10.
So it was
7 ones.
10 subjects. The person got 7 from the 10 subjects,
7 ones.
which is very good.
And I hear ever since the 7, no one has been able to have anything better than the 7. Nothing better than the 7.
Any reason why you had achieved 7 and no one?
Oh, it is by dint of hard work. Okay. By dint of hard work and proper supervision. And then I gave the teachers training on the job, and I encouraged them to do distance program in education. Most of them have had their masters. Most of them are first degree holders, those who worked under me. But they really wanted to have my position. After I had trained them, such is life, that is the African. But
the young men that you had trained,
young men and women,
wanted to have your position.
Yes. My wife was making it from the school. I was making, my children attended school free of charge. And so why shouldn't they make me go away so that a position will be created for them to fill? Really, it was created. Before I came here, I had acquired a small land here. My boss of that school knew. He told me, why wouldn't I pay for the land? He told me one day, why shouldn't I pay for the land? And I shouldn't leave the school. I must make teachers from there come here and do part-time teaching so that I handle his school for him. I don't know what became of him before he made me unhappy, and then I planned to leave. So I established this school and worked there for about 2 years before thinking about leaving. I wasn't prepared to leave. I didn't pay for the land.
But when you were there, who was taking care of this place?
When I was here, 2 teachers. I had teachers from Pokwasi to handle this school. So for 2 years, the school had stunted growth. It couldn't grow for 2 years. 2004, 2005, the school wasn't growing. 2006.
How often were you visiting?
I was visiting almost every week.
Okay.
Sometimes on Wednesdays I visited. I left the school. He was aware that I could leave the school and come here. I was coming, Rebecca was here. So when we saw that it wasn't functioning, Rebecca said he would come. And then Frank, my son, the doctor, my wife and Rebecca wanted me to leave that school abruptly. And I said, no, I wouldn't do that. I will wait, I will tally, I will wait and leave. So they came to start. When they came, the number of discouraging, about 32. Discouraging, but they started. So I worked for less than 1 year. And my son, the daughter, told me that anytime I leave, I set off from that school, he will smear himself with powder. in the account balance, may the powder between me in feet. I decided to leave. And then finally I left to the dismay of everybody. My boss never made people know that I had left. He told the PTA at PTA meetings that I had, because I had not been going out for leave. He had given me 1 full year leave. So if they are not seeing me, I'm resting, I'm tired.
Why? I think it was a move. I think it was a move for the parents not to get discouraged.
Yes, because people would have taken their children away. I advise people not to take anybody away. So when Alaji heard that I was advising parents to keep their children, he told me that he never knew that I had the school at heart. And I said, Alaji, I established this school. I gave it a name. I gave it a motto. I registered the school. Why should I see to the school collapsing? I won't do that, Alaji. I still love your school. So during one of their gatherings, they invited me. I hear my chair was there. I never went. My fridge that they wanted to give me was there. I didn't go for it. My children said I shouldn't go for anything, so I didn't go for them. So one day, I left. Then I came here. The number was about 42. And in less than 3 months, doctor visited me and the number was about 100. He told me that the one who shira will be a. So that's the beginning, Mayflower, and that is Mayflower that now you see. The Lord has been so good. My children have all done their masters. I'm okay. I'm trying to go home and rest. My life is modest. I don't believe in showing off. I know we are all one. We all go to the same market. You can't give your money to anybody to go to market with. So I'm very simple, and I wish people will just copy my lifestyle, and it will be okay for them. We could talk in class till we feel pains in our chest. I don't remember when I ever sat down in a class. I sat down only during break. In the classroom, I will stand up, put this part of my thigh at the edge of the table in front of a child. And then if I'm tired, that's where I'll rest. I'll move about whilst they are working. I'll move about and mark. On Saturdays, I went to collect students from their homes to go and help me in marking in the Kutubabi compound of the Youngster School. I'll feed them. I'll prepare gari soakings, and cut here the gari and make powder, add. Then we all enjoy. At the end of it all, I'll bring them down to their homes before I'll go back to where I quit him and where we were living. I've loved the work. And every owner of a school I have worked in loved me. Everybody had loved me. I have no regrets whatsoever in teaching. People were complaining about the money, but that is the same money I've used throughout. Because I never depended upon one thing. I did other things in addition.
Let me twist it this way. if you were supposed to start life afresh, would you still choose teaching?
But I would read and advance very fast. I would still choose teaching.
You still choose
and
teaching?
Do it better. But I would run very fast with my qualifications. Okay. I would not delay. With the qualifications, teachers can make it. If you have the qualification, you are writing your pamphlets, you are teaching and teaching very well, you become a lecturer somewhere, you are lecturing where you are writing your pamphlets, you make it. There's money in teaching. I love it. If you do it and do it well, blessings are manifold.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you very much. Okay. So guys, like we said, Lexfilms TV is sponsored by Pomase Plumbing and Building Works. Sanitary fittings, national announces and change it. Sanitary fittings are meant to be changed from time to time. That's why we are urging you to call Pomase Plumbing and Building Works. They'll deliver to you for free. Daddy, let's zoom a little bit into your personal lifestyle. You seem very healthy. Because I'm looking at your kids, and even though I don't know your age, you should be above 60 years, if I'm right. I'm
72.
Wow.
I was born in September 1950.
Wow.
Near in Koko, Abiputia, Koko.
I'm not cutting you. Any advice? Because at 72 you are this strong. Any advice for?
I think it's hard work and exercise. If you work, you are exercising your body, and we need to exercise. And healthy eating. Then certain things, the vices in life, smoking, womanizing, drunkenness. All these are vices. It's not easy for one to refrain from all of them. But if the one is doing them, that one must be careful in doing these things. They shouldn't be done too much. Everything must be done on the surface. If you delve deep into such things, you harm your own life. That's the life I have led. They know me. Omani, my actual name is Omani. They know Omani as very smart in doing everything. But if you follow me, you'll rather be in trouble.
So you've said
when you are delving deep, I'm on the surface.
that's right.
That's me.
You've said two things that have caught my attention. The first is healthy eating and exercising.
Yes.
You know, most of us, the job we do, I mean, it will be very difficult to stick to healthy eating. Any secret to healthy eating? Is there a particular meal that you should?
Sometimes when you are late in eating, don't eat at all. Just take some beverage.
You should eat very early.
Yes, you can. You should. The last meal should be about 4:30. Okay. If you want to take fufu, 3:30, 4 o'clock is okay. When I was very young, I didn't know we were eating late. Even after funeral, 10 p.m. we would take fufu. And when I got to know, I worked a lot. And so if I overfed, when I overfed myself, I was able to get all right. Because I was working. No headmaster ever queried me about not marking my work. Every exercise was marked. My exercise numbers were apt. Unlike these days when you had to be on a teacher before the teacher would do the work and get it marked. So I think it is blessings from God also, because I never cheated anybody's child. And so why wouldn't I be blessed? I think it's one of these.
So there's a story. There's a teacher on Facebook. He's a popular teacher. His name is Teacher Kwahu. And what he does is to film the vices in the school and put them on social media. For instance, there's a kid that is not able to pay the fees. He will go to the kid's location, film the kid, and put on social media and speak about the vices. There's something that the government is not doing well in school. He goes there.
Who is to pay the fees? Is it the government or the child is?
Well, he's just filming vices. Recently, Ghana Education Service was not pleased with how he's working. Yeah, Teacher Kwahu. Yeah, they were not pleased with him and they fired him.
I think it's not good.
Okay.
It's not a good practice. You shouldn't do that. If it's a government school, who is to pay the fees for the kid?
Okay.
It's the parents.
Most of the things he was talking about were very relevant. I mean,
like
for instance, they are teaching computers and they are supposed to draw it on a board and all that. There are no computers in the schools. I think it was
okay. I'm not speaking like a politician, but human beings. All of us are political animals. The government cannot give every school in the nook and cranny of the country a computer. It's unworkable. So wherever the government has worked up to, communities should also help.
Support.
And then the government continues. It's not easy for the government to promise that every school be given one computer. It's not practicable.
You think it's not advisable that a teacher films some of the students and put it? Okay.
It's not. Okay. It's not. I don't remember any time I ever took a negative thing a child had done to the house. It's not the child's fault. Anyway, I was a strict teacher.
This is actually, sorry, I'm not cutting. This is actually not a negative thing that the child has done, but negative things going on in the schools and the government.
That's what I'm saying, is that the government cannot supply everything. Okay. Even with the private schools, we can't supply them. We can't supply. Where we are taking fees, we are not able to get all the things supplied. And so Teacher Kwahu must see eye to eye with the government.
Yeah, he has been fired anyway.
He has been fired.
Yes, okay, so Daddy, we are almost ending it here. Now there are young teachers that are also looking up to you. They wish to own their own schools one day. What advice do you have for such young teachers?
That's what I tell them. Even when I was in the Pride of the East, I told them to upgrade their skills. You can't be a teacher if you are only a SS holder. So I advised them, and they started doing the diploma in basic education. Some have done their degree. Mr. Dankwa, for example, Mr. Atibuba, Auntie Felicia, and the like. And some of them have started owning their own schools. Over here, I advised them. And about 3 who have left here have their own schools. Others are here. There are others who also want to possess their own schools in future. Why not? They cannot die in my school. They must also. So they learn very hard here, because they tell me in my face that they are also learning so that they can also establish their own schools. I think it's better because the more children are going to be born, and so they must also get them to train them. We will not feel sad if they are doing our work. After all, they can't grab all the children.
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you very much for speaking to us.
Lexfilms TV.
Lexfilms GH. Lexfilms TV. What does it? Lexfilms TV. Lexfilms TV. What does it?
Lexfilms TV. Just go to my YouTube, then subscribe, then have fun.
Lexfilms TV. Entertainment.